Today is a special day, not just because we have a winner here with us of the Virginia Lottery. We expect over the course of this year to probably give away north of $4.5 billion in player prizes, but no prizes are quite like what we have today. I think anyone who's ever purchased a lottery ticket always thinks about potentially having that big winning moment and what they would do with it. Well, Carrie Edwards, standing right here to my right in this glorious moment, had such an occasion, won $150,000 in Powerball in the September 8th drawing.
That's right.
I believe it was. And I'm always happy to stand next to winners and give over the check and have sort of that moment of victory at the end. But very rarely do we have winners do what Carrie is doing here today.
So I'm watching the whole thing go down, and I'm in my mind going, I'm going to go online and play. And I'm going to go online and do the Powerball and the multiplier in my head. So I get home and I'm doing that, and then I think, how do I pick numbers? You know, I'm new. I've never played online before, so I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, talk to me. Talk to me about this $1.7 billion. And do you have numbers for me? And Chat comes back, and I have the sexy British voice one, and he goes, Carrie, he goes, you know it's all about luck, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And he said, well, here's some numbers you can play with. So he spit out a bunch of numbers. So 2 days go by, and I'm sitting in a meeting, and I look at my phone. It says, please collect your lottery winnings. And I thought, you know, I think it's a scam. I know I didn't win. And so I go home and log into my account, and it says you won the Monday, September 8th draw for $50,000, and you had the 3x multiplier. You know, as soon as that divine windfall happened and came down upon my shoulders, I knew exactly what I needed to do with it. And I knew I needed to give it all away because I've been so blessed, and I want this to be an example of how other people, when they're blessed, can bless other people. And so I want to shine the light on the three organizations that I'm very passionate about, that I work with, that I'm very involved in, that I'm going to be sharing this $150,000 with. And the first is the AFTD. And FTD is an early onset dementia. And my husband, Steve Edwards, was my high school sweetheart. And he was a career firefighter with Fairfax County. And on September 11th, he was called down to the Pentagon to be the battalion chief of Quadrant 4. And it was his guys that rolled the flag down on the Pentagon that day. And Steve worked the burn pits in the Pentagon, and then he got sick years later. At age 57, he started having symptoms, and he was diagnosed with early onset dementia called FTD. And he passed away New Year's Eve last year. And so in his honor and in his memory, I give my donation of this lottery money to AFTD. And the next is Shalom Farms. So one day a week or more, you'll find me digging in the dirt on a regenerative farm in Richmond. And it's the greatest organization because they understand that when it comes down to it, we all are responsible for helping each other in this life, and helping community and helping those who don't have what we have is something that they are focused on through their food justice and equity program. And the third is the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, and that is very near and dear to my heart, as you know, growing up in the Navy. My dad was a Naval Academy graduate, a fighter pilot, a hero himself, and it was his favorite charity. My dad lived to be 96 years old, passed away the same year Steve did, and we gave a big donation in his name when he passed away. So when I won, I thought I need to keep that legacy going forward in our families. And so I just felt very blessed, all of a sudden, so blessed that I knew exactly what to do with it, you know, because it's a windfall I didn't expect, and it's certainly going to help those in need.
The message of philanthropy overall,
Right.
The message of giving, and the message of being able to get something and do a lot more. So for Carrie, we thank you so very much for that.